We are only getting started, and we're still live from the Banana Court here in Las Piñas. And if you tuned in late, game number 1 was a victory para sa Rizal Switch Fiber in the 14-under matchup between Rizal and Bulacan. As we bring you now our second offering of today's 6-game slate for this midweek special. 16-under action naman tayo sa North Division as one team looks to end its early winless run to open the season against a team who will also want to continue their unblemished start with 3 wins in a row for the action sa ating country's premier youth basketball league, Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. Completing our 6-game slate nga, 18-under immediately after this ball game, Antipolo and Marikina, 18, 16, and 14 to round out our afternoon mula dito sa Las Piñas. Pleasant morning muli sa inyong lahat. Jaime Mendihar kasama si Coach Noy Africa together with Renoa Sanchez bringing you the action mula dito sa Las Piñas City in this beautiful Banana Court. Coach Noy, what a game we had in game number 1. Hopefully a sign of things to come.
Yeah, but here in the 16 and under, we flipped the script. Now it's Rizal Switch Fiber continuing to remain winless in 2 games while the JT Bulacan Taipan looking to extend their winning streak to 3.
Of course, Rizal Switch Fiber, as you said, starting out 0-2 in this season. What went wrong in their matchup against Quezon City sa kanilang huling assignment?
They did lose that game against Quezon City 79-70 in their last outing, and in that game they allowed Quezon City to shoot very well from the field, 41% from the field, and then they were severely out-rebounded 55-36, and second chance points 24-6 for Quezon City. So really what's imperative for Rizal here is to be able to protect the paint as they gave up too many points, 58 points to the Quezon City Junior Giants. They never recovered from being limited to only 3 points in the first quarter while giving up 20. So it's really a story of 2 teams trying to start very strong.
Ito naman tayo sa kabila, talking about Bulacan JT Taipan coming off that 19-point demolition of their fellow Bulaqueños in May Kawayan, winning big.
Yeah, that's right. And ito namang Bulacan in their game, they were the team that really finished the first, they started the first quarter strong, ending that first quarter with a 19-point lead in that game. Despite being out-rebounded by May Kawayan, 46-41, they had 5 more conversions from the 3-point area, so that's easily a plus 15. And also, they were able to force May Kawayan into 31 turnovers, which they converted to 34 points off turnovers. Players to watch for both teams. Jermaine Leonard Sapo in his last game against Quezon City, finishing with 21 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. While for JT Bulacan Taipan in that win over May Kawayan, they relied heavily on Daniel Hernandez, who finished with 24 points, a rebound, 3 steals, and was really a defensive menace with 6 steals.
Let's get this 16-under party started. Heading over to Kagawad Gerald Rosetes for our starting lineups.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Banana Court, Las Piñas City. Here we go for the second match of Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL Season 2. Ang liga ng bawat batang Pilipino. It's a battle between Rizal Switch Fiber versus Bulacan JT Taipan. Let's meet the starters first from your Rizal Switch Fiber. Guard number 11, Sean Arado. Also at guard number 19, Jermaine Sapo. Forward number 16, Lawrence Piñas. Also at forward number 13, Angelo Lugo. Center number 29, Joshua Timbol. The head coach of Rizal Switch Fiber 16-under is Coach June Cuevas. His assistant, Tony Urbano and Jesse Mapangaw, Johnny Necesito. Team manager, Ariel Balahadja. And now, it's time to meet the starting lineup of your Bulacan JT Taipan. Guard number 4, James Castro. Shooting guard number 13, Chris Gian Gonzalez. Forward number 21, Everett Cruz. Power forward number 26, Jallard Cruz. Center number 7, John Rain de la Cruz. The head coach of Bulacan, JT Taipan, is Coach Rizal de Orellosa. His assistant, Jason Condesada, Sherwin Santos, Marvin Pascual.
Starters tayo for game number 2 of 6. Bulacan will begin this game with James Casto, Chris Gian Gonzalez, Everin Cruz, John Lord Cruz, John Rain de la Cruz. A lot of cruises dito sa Bulacan. For Rizal naman, we have Sean Arada, Jermaine Sapo, Lawrence Piñas, Angelo Luga, and Joshua Timbol rounding out their 5. This is the 16th under matchup of Rizal and Bulacan. Second game of a 6-game slate mula dito sa Banana Court in Las Piñas. About to tip off. Of course, Rizal starting winless dito sa kanilang Season 2 campaign, beginning 0-2. Bulacan, on the other hand, looking for their 3rd win in a row. Seems to be a jump ball violation. Pipito dito against Cruz. Begin the game. So first possession dito mapupunta sa Rizal. Attacking strong. But Piñas will miss. Arada gets him another opportunity. Looking to reset. So 10 to work with. Arada calling it out. Play number 4. He will pull up from 3. Gets his outside shot to go. Sean Arada, and no stranger sa Junior MPBL, Coach Noy. Familiar tayo dito sa batang to.
And you were talking to him earlier, asking what's the difficulty in the transition here in the 16 and under division. You asked him if it was the speed at which the game is being played or the height disadvantage that he is at, but at that time able to read the defense correctly, able to hit on that 3.
As Lugo able to hit from outside as well. And, also a 3-pointer.
Just as I was saying 3, he thought it was his cue to get his own 3 as Rizal switch fiber, opening this game with back-to-back 3s.
6-0 start. Making matters worse for Bulacan. They immediately turned the ball for Rizal rather, turning it over to Bulacan. So scoreless to begin this game. 1 minute and 20 gone by.
So despite losing that game against Quezon City, they shot fairly decent from the 3-point area, 7 out of 21, a decent 33% hitting a third of their attempts.
There you go, the first 2 points para sa JT Bulacan Taipan, courtesy of De La Cruz. Hitting on that lefty layup. Rizal immediately on the other side of the court, almost their 3rd 3-pointer. And look at Arada, trying to challenge the defense of Castro. Ball goes back to Bulacan JT Taipan. Look at Sean Arada, of course. Medyo naninibago pa ako.
The haircut?
Haircut.
Are you referring to the haircut?
The first, yes, exactly. the first game that we had in Sean Arada, mas mahaba pa dyan. As in, may long hair siya talaga, Coach Noy. I know you couldn't relate, but I'm just telling a story, okay?
I really don't care.
I'm not taking shots. I was just telling a story, right? As JLC scoring his first 2 points of the game. Piñas, though, answering on the other end.
That time Cruz giving him too much space as Piñas will score for the Rizal switch fiber. Piñas is the leading scorer for this team, averaging 17 points per game.
Ano naman si JLC pag hiningan niya ng space, no? Usually binibigay niya, no? Of course, JLC is one of the main gunners dito sa JT Bulacan Taipan. I've covered this kid and really introduced himself to Junior MPBL in just a spectacular fashion, I would say. Averaging double digits and double-digit rebounds as well in their first 2 assignments, and a lot of promise in this young kid.
Of course, we are referring to John Lord Cruz.
Okay, just to make it clear, it's not John Lloyd Cruz, but JLC nonetheless of our Junior MPBL. Castro coming up with that steal, stepping through, almost finishing over 3 defenders. Tingnan mo naman yun. Wala nang talon necessary. Immediately, on the other end, talagang takbuhan dito ng Rizal switch fiber. Switch fiber ang bilis.
That's right, and just turning the switch on as they force an unforced turnover. That doesn't make sense. But,
I'm nodding my head, but I'm still trying to digest what you just said.
being around the vicinity with that unforced turnover, Arada was yet to put on pressure yet, but Gonzalez took some steps.
As Liban checking in the ball game, and I know Sean Arada was blonde at some point, so I like this matchup. Though all black na si Sean Arada. To the roll. Able to finish was Timbol. He gives up that foul. Great execution there of that pick and roll offense. Hindi nga lang na finish ni Timbol.
Liban moves exactly the same way as Sean Arada. You know, Sean Arada in the 14 under likes wiping his hands with his foot, with the shoes. And I just saw Liban do the same thing.
Wouldn't be surprised if Sean Arada was, I guess, is one of his junior MPBL idols. And this guy, Lawrence Piñas, also a Season 1 veteran, gets 2 more, now has 4. Lawrence Piñas averaging 17 a contest despite that 0-2 start of the switch fiber. Isa sa mga inaasahan dito ng Rizal. Has the basketball, spinning in the lane, kicks it out to Sapo. Gets that bucket, so outside shooting seems to be a premium dito sa Rizal. Bulacan JT Taipan trailing now by 10, 14-4. Mapapatawag nga sila ng maagang Nature Spring timeout. Still 5 minutes remaining here in our first period. Take another look at that assist coming from Piñas, and Sapo picking up where he left off in that previous game to score a bucket. Babalik po ang inyong junior MPBL.
A bright and beautiful morning to our live viewers of today's game. But will today be as bright and beautiful to Bulacan JT Taipan, given that they have a missing player, Gerald Bautista, playing as the third guard or point guard of the team. Ayon pa nga kay Coach Zalde, sa pukpukan nilang pag-eensayo araw-araw, medyo na-overfatigue raw ang bata at naulanan, kaya wala ito sa game ngayong araw. Pero pag-reassure niya na the player is already recovering and excited to train again for tomorrow. We can see the dedication of Gerald to the team, but how will they adjust today without him? Back to you mga kaliga.
Thinking that was Renoa Sanchez with that report. Get well soon to Gerald. Hopefully, Bulacan will gift him with a victory to boost his morale and recover even faster.
And without Gerald Bautista, they will be missing his contributions, 10 points in 5 rebounds per game.
Piñas hanging in the air against JLC. Nagkamustahan na yung dalawa sa ere. The hoop and the harm. Pound for pound fitness move. Brought to us by Pound for Pound Fitness, the official fitness partner of the Junior MPBL, and they, wala ka nang hahanapin pa. A pound for pound move indeed.
And what you like about that finish is the reaction after, as if nothing happened.
May classic ano rin to si Lawrence Piñas eh. No? Parang that Travis Pascual demeanor. Parang, naka-end one ba ako?
Ay, pumasok ba?
Finishing on that three-point play. Lead up to 11, 17-6. Pressure on the backcourt coming from Rizal. As JLC, hindi naman magpapadaig. 17-8 now. For JLC, that's his 6th point. To go with 3 rebounds. Sapo. Inside to Piñas. Able to finish. Tapikan. Piñas will give them another opportunity. Sapo through traffic. Kick it out to Lugo. Hits on another three-pointer. His second of the game. Angelo Lugo.
And this blitzkrieg of an attack for the Rizal switch fiber has really confused Bulacan, as they are now the team down by 12.
On the other end, hitting that basket is Daniel Hernandez. We talked about him pre-game. Coach Noy was that offensive spark para sa Bulacan JT Taipan coming off with that 19-point victory against May Kawayan. As Lugo make it 8 now in the quarter.
And Lugo has come out of nowhere, now scoring 8 points, spiked by 2 3-pointers early. He's only averaging 2 points in the tournament.
Ay, baka ito yung coming out party niya sa ating Manny Pacquiao Jr. MPBL. And another 3-pointer. Nagpapaulan ng mga batang to. Daniel Hernandez with his own personal 5-0 run.
And Hernandez, knowing it's time for him to make his contributions, he is the leading scorer of the team, averaging 18 points per ball game.
Although he gives up that foul, trying to challenge that 3-pointer from Sapo, awarding Sapo with 3 free throws.
A little too aggressive on the closeout, hitting the body of Sapo. So Sapo will get an opportunity to get his points from the line, already with 4 points in the ball game.
Sapo hitting on that free throw. Mentioned nga din pre-game that despite that loss against Quezon City, was their key performer in that game.
Finishing with 21 points. He does average 13 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists in the first 2 games that they've played.
Piñas wrestling that ball away, but JLC, siya naman ang nakaisa dito. Na-end-1 siya kanina ni Lawrence Piñas.
Showing that he can contribute on both ends of the floor, getting that shot block.
8 to work with. Sapo dials it from outside. No one answering. Piñas once again. Pulling up. Sweet looking stroke for Lawrence Piñas. 9 now. Closing in on double digits is both Lugo and Piñas.
And that was heavily guarded, but you know, the composure to still be able to keep his concentration and knock it down.
Can't knock that down though. Was Hapa. Ball will stay with JT Bulacan Taipan with 14 seconds on their shot clock. Trailing this ball game by 13, 26 to 13 against Rizal. Corner 3, ayaw. But there for that cleanup job was Kevin Bulanadi.
So Bulacan trying to keep in step with Rizal, down by just 11 points. But they've given up too many points here in the first quarter.
Liban coming up with that steal and hindi na nagpaliban pa. Getting his first 2 of the game. The Sean Arada prototype.
Huli man daw at magaling. Magaling pa rin.
Magaling pa rin naman talaga yun. Down to a single point deficit now, 26 to 17. Looking to cut it even more. Great find. Hindi naman pinahiya ni Justin Apa.
And right now, a little lax now are the Rizal switch fiber. Cannot afford to be complacent, especially since you're the team coming off 2 losses.
Piñas giving us that spin cycle. Swabe talagang galawan nito ni Lawrence Piñas. Double digits now, first player to do that in the first quarter. Now has 11. Pulling up. Finding the bottom of the net is Daniel Hernandez coming off the bench now with 7 points.
And we rarely see this an offensive display for both teams. Both teams already scoring more than 20 points in the first quarter.
Ooh, barreling his way inside. Medyo masyadong nanggigil Lawrence Piñas. He has started off hot. Will be called for his first personal. 2.4 seconds remaining in the quarter. Looking to heave it, probably, is Bulacan. Just a second remaining. I don't know if Liban knows it. He doesn't know it. As the buzzer sounds to end the first quarter. High scoring affair. 28 to 21 in favor of the Rizal Switch Fiber in the 16-under matchup. And this guy, Lawrence Piñas, has put on a show. 11 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists in the first quarter alone. On the other end, has been a mix of efforts from JLC and Daniel Hernandez. They need more of that in their attempt to address this early 7-point deficit. Spin cycle, we'll see more of that as well from Lawrence Piñas. Second quarter po sa pagbabalik ng inyong Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. (28-21). Heading into the second quarter, the Rizal switch fiber after leading by as much as 11 in this game. That mini run coming from JT Bulacan Taipan, able to trim it down to just 7. Check that, biggest lead was 13. A high-scoring affair that we have here for game number 2 of a 6-game slate. Nabati muli namin kayo ng magandang umaga mula dito sa Banana Court in Las Piñas. I'm Mendihar, kasama si Coach Noy Africa together with Rinoa Sanchez, bring you the action live for season number 2 of Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL, ang liga ng bawat batang Pilipino.
And if you look at the field goal percentages for Bulacan, 47%, Rizal 61%. That's why we had an offensive display as Guanse will hit that corner 3 to open up scoring for the Rizal switch fiber here in the second quarter.
That's their 4th 3-pointer of 6 attempts. Hernandez the one able to answer. Guanse, first time in the ball game. Was telling you, I believe I've seen this kid playing for Dasmariñas in season number 1. So, an experienced player sa ating Junior MPBL, similar to others that we've already seen. They look inside, and working inside is Asay.
Asay that time did not put the ball on the floor anymore. Using his height advantage, able to score.
5-0 run to begin this second quarter. Lead up to 12, 33-21. Pressure in the backcourt coming from Bulacan. Stolen by Hernandez. Go to JLC. Getting the bump. Not the finish, but will fish for that foul against Peter Magat.
And right now, Bulacan looking to force some turnovers as Rizal has done a good job taking care of the basketball. Only 4 turnovers in their game against Meycauayan. They were able to force 31 turnovers on Meycauayan, so they are looking to put that ball pressure back into the 4 in this ball game.
Able to hit. Gets the second to go. 33-22, double-double. 8:45 still remaining sa ating first half of action. Calling the shots is Roa para sa Rizal. Marquez also first time in this game. This pass. Recovered by Guanse. No look. Almost blocked, but able to finish was Magat.
Of course, this Rizal switch fiber team, if I'm not mistaken, affiliated with the Arellano University Braves in the NCAA. Of course, last year you had the dynamic duo of Axel Mendoza and John Ray Ladica, who we will be seeing later playing in the 18 and under.
Familiar faces, familiar names, Season 1 veterans and Season 1 beasts. So we spoke about a lot of yung transitions nga, no? So from 14 to 16, as is the case for Sean Arada, as we see Daniel Hernandez hitting on yet another 3-pointer. Hernandez is the first player in double figures para sa Bulacan with 10 now to go with 2 assists.
And this combination of John Lord and Daniel has really been the Pogi duo.
The Pogi duo.
In the offensive side of
Bansagan
things.
na natin. The Pogi duo. May Daniel ka na. May John Lord ka na.
Unfortunately, Gerald not available to play.
Gerald not available, of course. Recovering, as reported by Rinoa Sanchez earlier. Pogi trio na sana sila, no? To settle for the Pogi duo for this particular game though. Sidestepping his way through and able to finish was Roa.
That time Roa able to get into the seams of the defense of Bulacan.
And hit from outside was Hapa. Takbo dito ang Rizal. A player ahead. This is Roa. Back-to-back baskets.
Great recognition there by Marquez. Seeing that Roa was wide open ahead of the play.
Speaking of wide open, Castro wide open for this three. Unable to hit. Ball tapped. Rizal will get it back. Up by 12, 39 to 27. 6 and 20 remaining sa ating second quarter.
Right now, Bulacan still continuing to keep their composure.
As with their 14 under counterparts, that when Bulacan kept on knocking, bringing the storm, that they were able to weather it, found an answer time and time again, extending their own 3-game win streak na gusto namang magawa ng Bulacan in this game, while Rizal would want to get their first victory sa ating season number 2.
But right now, it's still Rizal up by 10. But plays like those will not help.
Once he had a couple of options, too much mustard on that pass, unable to be contained.
Probably still adjusting to the style of play, especially having to switch teams. But you know, he's a very effective point guard before for the Marinas. But having to move up and having to switch teams will take some time for him to get familiar with his teammates.
Nag-move up ka na, so that's an adjustment in itself. Tapos nagbago ka pa ng team, right? Nagbago ka pa sistema probably, coaches. As John Lord Cruz lording it over the defense of Rizal, lead down to 6 now.
You have to remember last season, he was playing for his dad, who was the head coach.
As John Lord Cruz getting that block, doing it on both ends of the floor as the switch fiber will call their nature spring timeout. Still up by 6, 39 to 33. 4 and 47 remaining here in the second.
Coach June Cuevas of Rizal Switch Fiver is feeling the hype of the game as he commands his players in the sideline. With our interview with him earlier, he mentioned that the team is currently in progress and they are developing their players' maturity. Dagdag pa niya on their last game, ang naging problem ay pag-collapse ng depensa ng kanilang team at the end of the ball game. And that is why they are focusing on improving the players' decision-making ability, lalo na kapag pagod na ang lahat. Let's see how will this adjustment affect the game? Back to you, Coach Noy and Jaime.
Thank you, Rinoa Sanchez, for that report. As Piñas seems to have probably blood on his shorts. But going back to that report by Rinoa, tama naman, yung decision making, it's a bit more challenging kapag fatigue na yung mga players.
Yeah, but you know, what struck me most was the collapse in defense. So, you know, the offense may not be consistent, but the defense has to be there. The defense has to be consistent for the full 40 minutes. A little let up on the defensive side will pretty much spell doom as you give the other team the opportunity to score on the other end.
As Hernandez takes it on the other end. 16 now para kay Daniel.
And you felt like early in the ball game he was deferring to his teammates, and right now he's really just trying to take over the offense of Bulacan.
They come up with another steal. Finishing once again. This time James Castro getting his 4th of the ball game.
Right now really giving fits to the offense of Rizal. This pressure defense just really been a menace.
Closing in on 4 minutes left in the first half. Bulacan down by 13 at one point. Able to bring it down to just 2, 39-37.
There's really no space for complacency here in the junior MPBL. Time and again, it has been proven that no lead is safe.
Complacency not welcome sa ating liga. As Sapo almost getting that bounce. As Timbol trying to get that rebound against two smaller defenders will be fouled. That would be team foul number 3 para sa JT Bulacan Taipan.
That time, John Rain De La Cruz called for holding.
Piñas attacking the baseline. His reverse will work. Showing us man of a million moves, eh, no?
The maturity to know that he had to go reverse on that play and had to finish with his left hand.
There's a calmness to this guy's game, Lawrence Piñas.
And we are at an angle where I could see the expression on his face. No panic, just really chill, able to explore his options and finishing with a reverse.
Addressing that drought para sa Rizal. Immediately answered on the other end by Hapa.
Hapa now with 4 points in the ball game.
Piñas though, stopped in transition. Looking ahead. Cruz gets the bump. Not the finish. That ball will stay with Bulacan. So 17 to shoot. Sean Arada checking back in. Along with Jesus. We hear another buzzer. Signal a Nature Spring timeout. Bulacan will call for some time with 2:03 remaining here in the first half. About to resume action with the last 2:03 of this second quarter. After that Nature Spring timeout, I'd like to take a second to thank our sponsors as well. Pound for Pound, official fitness partner of the Junior MPBL. Doride, Bola ng Pinoy, the official basketball of our Junior MPBL. Pound Active, Wing Bowl, Nature Spring, provider of safe and affordable drinking water to Filipinos. Jinky Skin, Chris Jacob Collections. Don Benitos, of course, the provider of premium Filipino delicacies to our players of the game. Maraming salamat po. Up by 2 is Rizal, 41-39. After that timeout, Bulacan turns it over. Piñas, strong to the basket, unable to convert. Hernandez on the other side, plus the foul. Daniel Hernandez, 18 points, all in the first half. May chance pa nga madagdagan. Not the tallest of kids, pero napakaliksi. Sean Arada, no choice but to give up that foul.
And right on the catch, a quick first step. You could just feel him parang bumubuelo eh. Parang, you know, a sling shot. You're trying to pull it back to give it force. That was what he was while waiting for that basketball. Just exploding to the basket.
Exploding to the basket though was Sapo in that instance. I like your reference, slingshot, no? Papagalatan yung laruan mo ng bata ka, but
buti nga hindi trompo eh.
I bet you also did. Trompo, which is what Lawrence Piñas is usually showing us. Nice find to Arada. As a result, stringing this 4-0 run after we were deadlocked at 41. Less than a minute left here in the second quarter. So yung sagot nga nahanap dito ng Rizal every time that Bulacan keeps coming back.
And also what you like from Sean Arada, right after hitting that basket, quickly signaling the defensive set that they were going to implement. And just like what we used to see in the 14 and under, almost getting that steal earlier.
Almost getting that finish. And his prototype, Liban, fouling him in that instance.
His 14 and under self.
14 and under self. And speaking of 14 under self, yun yung nagustuhan ko rito nung nakita ko Sean Arada when I first saw him sa 16 under division. Kasi kangkarot to si Sean Arada in 14 under. Yes, and he's all over the floor. And that type of energy, I like that he's carrying that over dito sa 16 under. Kasi yung gana, yung sipag, normally hindi mo naman yan matuturo talaga eh. And in the case of Sean Arada, despite being maybe, more challenged height-wise and maybe even speed-wise dito sa 16 under, that energy has never faltered.
And it's not only the energy that he has carried here in the 16 and under division. You can see the confidence is still there. He doesn't look like he's lost. It doesn't look like he's overwhelmed with the action here in the 16 and under.
Power rebound from Hapa. Able to give them another chance. Gets it to Castro. Just 7 to shoot para sa Bulacan. Sidestep maneuver. Can't convert was James Castro. I wonder if he's related to the pro, the Astro Boy, James Castro.
But James Castro seems to be an ordinary sounding name.
I mean, I'm pretty sure not the only James Castro playing basketball in the Philippines. So he probably is related to a James Castro somewhere.
Although if you give his full name, not really ordinary, James Gilmar Castro.
Okay. Now that you say that, it's a unique name in itself, Piñas. Despite several of those attempts not work in the previous possessions, you like that he's always on that attack mode.
And you don't necessarily know what he will do when he gets the basketball. He can get really creative when he's trying to get to the rim. And sometimes he just really just goes strong and attacks the defense, trying to fish for a foul.
But rin yung IQ ng bata na, I could also get those points from the line. Hindi nawawala yung kumpiyansa. Splits his charities though, 48 to 43. Last shot time if you are Bulacan. Liban. To a wide open three-pointer for Castro. Sinks it.
And that's now 9 points for James Castro.
Just a second left. He has to put it up. Arada would have counted. As the buzzer sounds to signal the end of the first half of action, Rizal still holding on to this 2-point lead after leading by as much as 13. JT Bulacan Taipan using this 24 to 19 second quarter to bring them back. And at the half, it's 48 to 46. Rizal, abante ng dalawa. Babalik po ang inyong Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. At the half, it's 48-46. Rizal with his 2-point advantage. A look at some highlights. In our first half of action, Bulacan JT Taipan trailed by 7 at the end of the first quarter. Nagpaulan nga ng 3 ang parehong koponan in that first period, causing a number of players to now hit in double digits. Leading scorers for both teams as shown here. Daniel Hernandez leading all scorers with 18 markers. Hindi naman magpapulit. Lawrence Piñas and those variety of moves na pinakita niya sa atin now has 14. Sapo and Dugo following suit. James Castro and JLC naman on the other end para sa Bulacan. We're up for a very highly contested ball game in the second half if the first 2 quarters were any indication.
And right now, both teams are really continuing to shoot well from the field. 50% for Bulacan, 61% for Rizal. And it's not normal to see both teams shooting above 50% from the field. They're nearly identical in a lot of categories. Just a rebound and an assist separating them on the stat sheet. Turnover story, 9 for Rizal, 6 for Bulacan. So still commendable job for both teams trying to take care of the basketball. A slight advantage in points in the paint for Bulacan, 30-24. And also on the fast break, 15 for Bulacan, 11 for Rizal.
Of course, points of those turnovers, Coach Noy, a bit glaring if you are Bulacan. Plus 10 sila dyan, but still trailing by 2 heading into the second half.
And what you like about Bulacan, they've been able to efficiently score off those turnovers, and you know, guys like Hernandez getting a ton of his points in transition.
There's Hernandez really carrying over his performance from that victory against May Kawayan in their previous assignment, where he was able to finish with 24 points, so just 6 points away from that game number 2 performance in season number 2. To resume our third quarter, bibitaw ng 3, Gonzalez will miss, gets his own miss, goes to Liban, baseline J, up and good.
And I believe that's the first 2 points for Liban. 4 points now total in the ballgame. That's his first 2 points in the second half.
Timbol missing on that hook. Agawan sa rebound. Jump ball. Possession arrow. I believe Rizal will keep it.
So far, both teams have scored at least 20 points in the first 2 quarters. And let's see if that trend continues here in the second half.
That alone, for me, parang medyo uncharacteristic in any 14-16 ba yan or 18. And it's not for a lack of defense, I would say.
Just really very good shot making for both teams.
As Liban gets another basket plus the foul from the trailing Rufino. So Liban showing us that Aradaness in him once again. Pound for pound fitness move brought to us by Pound for Pound, the official fitness partner of the Junior MPBL.
Especially since he finished with his left hand on that situation. He is right-handed as opposed to Sean Arada, who is a natural lefty.
I love the hair itong si Carlito Josh Liban. Speaking of Josh, parang Josh Koscheck yung buhok nito ni Liban, plus the color, averaging 3 points, 1.5 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. So more a facilitator itong si Liban, but in this game, so far has 7. Lead now with Bulacan, 51-48 after trailing by as much as 13 points. Piñas will attack. Passed it off. That would be team foul number 1 against Bulacan.
And this time, Bulacan doing a better job trying to stop the penetration of Piñas, which was pretty much the catalyst of that strong first quarter for Rizal.
Periols in the ball game for the first time. Gets it to Piñas. An attack mode once again. Kick it out to Periols. Thought about the 3. A dribble in. Fouled by Gonzalez. Shot clock is winding down. A bit of a bailout.
And that's already 2 team fouls for Bulacan.
So 7:45 remaining sa ating third period. Bulacan so far has scored all the points here in the third. So traveling violation. The cord here against Switch Fiber. Ball goes back to Bulacan.
Right now, it's Bulacan putting on the pressure on Rizal.
And they're doing this all without JLC, all without Daniel Hernandez. The players that have put them in it in that first half.
And that's what you like for Bulacan, always the next man up mentality. And right now, it's an opportunity for these guys to earn more minutes on the floor.
Of course, these kids are all from Bulacan, products of Sanctuario of Saint Maria Teresa School from Tambubong, San Rafael, Bulacan. The program that, of course, Jobentay has created. Even yung sa senior team, yung Quezon City. I was speaking to one of their owners, and this is really one of their ways to give back to the places that they grew up in.
And that's always an advantage for any team here in the junior MPBL. Those teams that are school-based, because the chemistry should be easier to develop because they get to see each other in school. And of course, the convenience of being able to organize practices because they're pretty much working under the same academic calendar.
Yeah, I bet they're studying chemistry right about now and the age that they're in. So just not just chemistry in the court, but off the court as well.
Not really something I like to look back on.
I totally could relate. Not the subject that yeah, I was looking forward to as well. 31-49, Bulacan. Abante pa rin ang dalawa dito. Great ball rotation for a straightaway three. But a shot a bit too strong para kay Kyle Francisco. Looking ahead. But they would lose that basketball. Nice intent.
Just too much English on that outlet pass coming from Lawrence Piñas.
Blocking foul. Will be called here against Urich Rufino. Or that's an offensive foul rather. No, the foul wasn't on Rufino. I thought it was. But it was against Bulanadi, it seems. The other 17 para sa Bulacan. Piñas looking to create. Loses that basketball. Trying to get it ahead. And Gonzalez comes up with it. Getting that layup to go.
The inadvertent touch pass coming from John Lord Cruz. Allowing Rosales to go all the way.
Piñas can't get the roll, but Ferriols able to get that put back. Lead once again down to 2, 53-51. Francisco trying to split his defenders, will lose it. Rufino penetrates, gets blocked. Under the second opportunity, Ferriols muli, this time will get fouled. Yep, it is a foul. Just waiting if it was a travel or a foul. I can't quite see it from where we are sitting. So I like the activity of Ferriols dito sa offensive rebounding. Putting himself in a position to get those misses, and this time he will be rewarded with 2 free throws.
Right now, both teams trying to run and gun as Piñas will be subbed out. He has been checked heavily by the Bulacan defense, so has been stagnant at 14 points.
You know he's going to be a marked man, not just in this game, every game moving forward.
And he will need to show that he has the ability to shoot from the outside for the defense to not have to sag off on him, baiting him to go into the teeth of the defense where the help will come from.
That's where, syempre, the likes of Sapo, the likes of Arada, you know, those other options na alam mong tututukan talaga si Lawrence Piñas. There would really be moments where he has to get that ball out of his hands. Na yun naman yung opportunity for you to relieve a bit of that pressure.
And he is perfect. He is a perfect fit for a drive and kick situation, as shooters will definitely get open with the attention that he is getting inside.
As Hapa converts. Tuloy ang high scoring affair natin dito, Noy. 55-52, up by 3 is Bulacan JT Taipan. 3:35 left here in the third period. Sapo looking to create, kick out. Speriols is fouled, and that will mean free throws para sa kanya as Bulacan is now at the penalty.
Speriols has figured prominently in the last few sequences. Currently has 3 points to go with 2 rebounds.
Ashan Rada checks back in for Rizal switch fiber. Last 3:25 of this third period. And Hernandez also. Parang inabangan nata nung pagpasok ni Arada. Doon din pinasok itong si Daniel. No? I know it probably is Daniel, but for the sake of
Discovering.
for this pogi duo of Daniel Hernandez and John Lord Cruz. James Castro as well, back in the game. Gets that feed to JLC.
That's how you attack. Pressure defense, just keep the ball moving and attack that defense aggressively.
JLC now has 11. Arada through the lane. Will be clipped. Aggressiveness of Sean Arada. Knowing that Bulacan is already in the penalty.
The way he's moving, it's like he's still playing in the 14 and under division, and that's what you like to see for these players. The near seamless transition may not be as heavy producer as he was back in the 14 under, but still very much effective.
Speaking of transition, let's transition to Rinoa Sanchez for a report. Rinoa?
Noy, and thank you, Coach Noy and Jaime. During the huddle earlier, the Rizal switch fiver is checking on their players, and one of them is not feeling well daw or may ibang nararamdaman. Ian Jos Alfred Asay, who is playing on the second quarter and contributed 2 points and is sub out because of this. Pagpapaalala ni Coach Jun na kapag may nararamdaman, magsabi agad sa kanya. Let us see if Asay can still continue in today's ball game. Back sa inyo, mga kaliga.
Thank you for that report, Rinoa. And ang ganda rin focus dito kay Ian Asay kasi kitang-kita mo talaga that he is in visible pain or baga alam mo may
yeah, but he's averaging nearly a double-double, 9 points, 8 rebounds, and I was wondering why we haven't been talking about this kid, but let's hope he gets well soon, as we have a foul counted pound-for-pound situation for James Castro.
Completing that three-point play, James Castro now has 12. 3 players in double figures now para sa Bulacan JT Taipan. Hernandez and JLC, the other two. Able to finish on the other side was Tristan De Jesus. Lead down to 3, 60-57. Hernandez finds JLC, gets a roll.
And you like how easily John Lord Cruz is finishing. Nothing flashy, just goes up and goes strong.
Sapo, nothing fancy, just a casual pull-up.
And you like how everything is just very efficient for these kids on both ends of the floor.
Paulino leading the break, kicking it out to his fellow 14 under counterpart in Arada. His spin cycle won't work. Ball goes back to Bulacan.
And that's something that he will eventually adjust to. Will need a little more strength in finishing. Usually when he uses that spin against in the 14 and under division, he easily gets very wide open.
John Lord Cruz once again. Nakakuha pa yung contact from behind. Kumbaga sinasabi mo, you need a little bit more strength. Ito naman si JLC. He has it and he used it. JLC now with 15. Chance to make that 16 with this free throw.
exactly how you want to finish. If you look at him, he's not the tallest of players, but he's very comfortable underneath.
Has been very consistent in their first 2 games. Yeah, averaging in double-double, 15 and 11 in this game so far. Not quite the rebounds gathered. But yun nga, scoring-wise, much needed support from Daniel Hernandez. Guance back in the ball game para sa Rizal. Siya naman ang magtitimon. They're trailing by 6, 65 to 59. A minute and 18 left here in the third period. Sapo. Ball stolen by Hernandez to a streaking JLC. Add another 2.
And now that's 7 assists for Hernandez as this duo just continuing to be a problem for Rizal.
Pogi duo.
Pogi duo.
I just have to remind you, ikaw naman na nagbansag as Hapa. Not quite the Hapa step just yet. But lead now up to 10, the biggest para sa Bulacan JT Taipan, 69 to 59. So we have another nature springtime out. Rizal would want to talk it over. Take another look at that layup from Hapa. Hapa now has 8. Babalik po ang inyong junior MPBL. Last 40 seconds here in the third quarter. Arangkada dito ang JT Bulacan Taipan, now up by 10. 1 point trailed by 13. Now in the driver's seat as Roa will be called for that personal. Both teams now in the penalty. Another set of free throws coming up para sa Bulacan Taipan.
And Bulacan continues to score over 20 points as they currently have 23 points on the board in the third quarter while limiting Rizal to just 11.
Nagsasabayan pa tong dalawang teams na to in the first 2 quarters, Coach Noy. Not much separating them. Sabi mo nga sa stats during the half, almost identical. But here in the third, yeah, distinct difference. And the reason why Bulacan is now up. Castro spinning in the lane. Floater, no good. Hernandez, short stab. Add 2 more to the lead, back to 10.
That was created by the penetration by Castro, attracting the defense, allowing Hernandez to be unmarked on that offensive rebound.
Sorry, miss underneath. Opportunity to score one more basket before the quarter ends as Roa trying to challenge Hernandez. He will head to the line for 2.
You like how Hernandez seeing Roa, kumbaga parang sinukat niya eh. I can take this guy on and try to finish over Roa, but Roa with a duty foul there, not giving easy 2 points for Hernandez.
Excellent game so far for Daniel Hernandez. Had that super performance as well in that previous assignment against Mika Wayan. Continuing, very consistent now with 20 points to go with 8 assists. As Lugo, the shot will count if it goes. Able to convert. As Bulacan now with a 12-point lead. 73 to 61 heading into the fourth quarter. Behind the efforts here in the third. Most of the damage actually began even without Daniel Hernandez and John Lord Cruz on the floor together with James Castro. So credit to the second, even third unit of Bulacan building on this lead, and tinuloy na lamang nitong starters ng Bulacan. Reason why they are up by 12 at the end of the third. We'll be back with the fourth quarter in just a bit. On to the fourth quarter of this second game of a 6-game slate ngayong Huwebes. Sa magandang umaga po sa lahat ng nanonood sa atin mula dito sa Banana Court in Las Piñas. Jaime Mandihar, joined by Coach Noy Africa and Rinoa Sanchez, bringing you the action live for our season number 2 of Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. Where Bulacan has this 12-point lead, 73-61 against the Rizal Switch Fiber sa ating 16 under North Division. As Hapa almost losing that basketball as Arada will be called for a personal.
That 14-point turnaround in the third quarter, allowing Bulacan to grab this 12-point lead. This time limiting, and I say limiting just because Rizal has scored over 20 points in the first 2 quarters, limiting them to just 13.
It's been a while since nasabi ko that Rizal has scored on a fast break.
And that has been more of the tempo that Bulacan likes. As Bulacan already with 24 fast break points against just 16 for Rizal. For other teams, 16 is a huge number, but when you're giving up 24 on the other end, that's a problem for the Rizal Switch Fiber.
Arada looking ahead. Looking for Timbol inside, but they turn it over once again. Hernandez. This time attacks. His pass, stolen by Lugo. Traveling violation will be called against John Lord Cruz. Ball goes back to Rizal. Another opportunity maibaba ang kalamangan.
And that's another name that we haven't heard much in the second half. Angelo Lugo scored 10 points in the first half, has been silenced by the JT Bulacan Taipan defense.
I like the adjustment though that Piñas, Arada, Lugo starting the fourth. Pag hindi na natin naantayin na tuluyang pambumitaw itong Bulacan. The starters immediately trying to make that run at the start of the fourth pa lang. Arada calling it out. It's a screen from Timbol. High off the glass and good. Sean Arada plus the foul. Looking for strength, Coach Noy. Is that enough strength for you?
Interestingly, he does that over John Lord Cruz, who we were using as an example on how to finish with strength. Coach Jun Cueva still trying to figure out how to give his team its first win. But they've been very good, so to speak, in this ball game. But they're still down. They're gonna have to get better to try and overhaul the 7-point lead.
Castro, blocked by Timbol. Even the defense, nagigising na rin dito para sa Rizal Switch Fiber.
And, you know, everything back in the 14 under division, his team, the Rizal team, everything starts with the energy being provided by Sean Arada. Let's see if he can do that role here in the 16 and under.
Hapa, pulling up. Ooh, tough jumper. Lead back to 9, 75-66. Rufino, pinali pa but unable to convert.
Had to adjust in mid-air due to the strong challenge coming from JLC.
Like the adjustment. Hindi nga lang naka-finish as Castro missing on that J. Hapa fighting for it. They reset to Hernandez. Gets it to Hapa. Short. Piñas comes up with it. Siya na rin magbababa. Looking to attack once again. His shot off. Stepping on the baseline will be called here against De La Cruz after corralling that rebound.
Piñas remains scoreless in the second half. He's been getting to the rim but unable to finish. Probably a little bit of fatigue now.
The 14 under game, we talked about how Tristan Teoc was very efficiently managed in terms of playing time. So fatigue in the decision making, as reported by Rinoa Sanchez, has played a factor dito sa losses nga ng Rizal.
But this time it's Sapo hitting from the outside.
Piñas trying to save it. Great hustle. So safe to say, hindi pa siya ganun kapagod to try and save that basketball. Lead down to just 6 now, 75-69. So a long way to go, 7:14 left in the fourth and final quarter. Iuupo muna nga si Lawrence Piñas as you probably called out Coach Noy that rest might be something that he needs para mas maramdaman siya late in this game. Ooh, that hurts para dito sa Rizal, giving up that three-pointer para kay Liban.
Liban has just really been a factor in this ball game now with 10 points.
Quality minutes from Liban off that bench. No? Arada once again. No look. Sapo, same spot. Different result. Trying to fight for it was Lugo. Gets the ball back inside. Asay back in the ball game. Unable to hit. Trying to get that basketball. They go to Arada. He gets that three to go. Sean Arada. Keeping Rizal in it.
Keeps continuing to be the spark for the Rizal switch fiber.
14 points now para kay Sean Arada. And chance of defense. Coming from the switch fiber bench. Castro trying to answer. Won't go. JLC gets the rebound, but a hold will be called here against Ferriols. It's a tough cover from John Lord Cruz. Tutusin, para nakapwesto na nga si Ferriols dun.
It's actually a tough cover for anyone.
Atake, JLC. Almost losing it. Recovers just in time. Naman, no? Hindi nawala yung focus eh.
And you know, you will always have him at his best.
Love it. Arada, kick out. Sapo, another three. Can't get it to go. Hapo, ahead to James Castro. Gets that layup as a player down on the floor.
That's Sean
This is
Arada.
not good. This is Sean Arada clutching to his right ankle.
He's pointing at something.
He's limping his way to the sidelines. So Castro extends this lead to 10, 82-72.
But actually, as he fell, De La Cruz was apologizing to him. We just didn't see what happened. John Rain De La Cruz.
We do have another angle. Yun nga, naapakan. Natapilok siya yata dun sa ano. It's exactly what you saw, Coach Noy, where De La Cruz was trying to apologize. Inadvertent. Has to sit down. Let's see if yung energy niya has rubbed off to his teammates with the last 5 and 26 of this game. Piñas. This same play to Sapo. Ball rattles out. Some opportunities dito sa Rizal getting those open threes.
Yeah, but that was actually a good read there by Lawrence Piñas. Finally realizing that the defense was really swarming on him whenever he drives in, able to set up that three that just didn't fall for Sapo.
John Lord Cruz, third opportunity, blocked inside. Gang defense dito from Rizal. Sapo, this time penetrates in the lane with a finish.
And Sapo has come alive here now with a total of 15 points.
82-74. Kumakatok muli. Switch fiber. Hapo for three. Malakas. De La Cruz offensive rebound. Trying to fight his way inside. Another block coming from Rizal. The 7 to shoot. Liban. Can't get the bounce. Lugo high up for that rebound. Stolen by Castro. Return over para sa Rizal. Hapo, malakas. Rebound battle. Makukuha ni Sapo as si Liban gives up that personal. That will be team foul number 4 now against Bulacan, putting them at the limit.
Well, that was a duty foul right there. Did not want Rizal to get out in transition. So that could be a good foul, especially if they make a stop on this play.
They throw the ball away. John Lord Cruz attacking Piñas. Stopped by Lawrence. Takbo tayo sa kabila. Sapo once again looking for Asay. Stolen by Castro. De La Cruz trying to bring the ball down. Drops it off to Cruz. Shadowed in the lane. Short. Hapa saves it to Liban. Elect to slow it down. It's 9 to shoot for the red shirts. Way off was Castro. Rebound. Bulacan. Another opportunity as Cruz will be called for the traveling violation.
Well, you could pick your poison. Either it was going to be called for the traveling, or the shot clock had already expired. The ball did not hit the rim.
So defense, the stops coming para dito sa Rizal Switch Fiber, creating those opportunities for them to inch closer. But on the other end, costly turnovers, breaking that type of momentum.
The problem is they're trading stops. And they cannot afford to do that, as they need to get that offense going, as they miss another one.
3:18 remaining here in the fourth. Liban has done an excellent job coordinating the offense of Bulacan. His pull-up. Unable to hit. Rufino hounded by Hapa. Throws it away once again.
I don't think we've heard from Daniel Hernandez in the fourth quarter. It has been John Lord Cruz, but I don't think he's played yet in the fourth quarter.
I think that also shows how effective Liban and even James Castro has been dito sa backcourt ng Bulacan. 4 to shoot though. Off on that three. A second left. Ball didn't hit the rim in those two attempts. 24-second shot clock violation. Yet another stop dito sa Rizal. But the question is, sabi mo nga Noy, mako-convert ba nila yung mga stops na to?
Essentially, that's two consecutive shot clock violations forced on Bulacan. So the defense is already there for Rizal, and they try and bring back Sean Arada, who seems to be moving quite well right now.
As attended to by our medical staff earlier, had that injury scare sa kanyang left ankle. Empty possession para sa Rizal. Bulacan now trying to milk as much clock as they could as James Castro hits from outside. Could be the dagger. As last 2 minutes will echo the Banana Court here in Las Piñas. Arada will be fouled. That's one way to manufacture points. Penalty na dito ang Bulacan. So Lawrence Piñas, after that excellent first half nga, Coach Noy, that second half hasn't been quite the outing para sa kanya to add to that excellent first 2 quarters.
And has remained scoreless as the defense really able to adjust. And that's really the problem with being a pure slasher and not having that mid-range or that ability to shoot from distance. The defense knows that you're just gonna go and drive inside, so they're just gonna sag off you, and you know, spacing wise, that's going to be a problem for the Rizal Switch Fiber.
Castro gets it to Hernandez, blocked by Timbol. Keep it on the baseline with 7 to shoot.
What a luxury for JT Bulacan Taipan. They barely played Daniel Hernandez here in the fourth quarter, and yet they were able to still sustain this 10-point lead.
Lalim rin, no? Just showing you the depth that even without him on the floor, yun nga, na-sustain yung kalamangan. A second remaining, De La Cruz. Bulacan has to be careful here. I think the last couple of possessions, parang I get that you're trying to milk the clock, but you haven't been getting that good looks outside of that James Castro three-pointer.
They're a little too passive, but somehow it's working for them because easily you've wasted essentially a minute and a half with those 3 shot clock violations, and you've got a closer in a John Lord Cruz.
John Lord Cruz now has 22 big points, matching the output of Daniel Hernandez, making it difficult for you, Coach Noy, if Bulacan will come up with this victory. The timeout muna nga tayo dito, brought to us by Nature Spring. (87-75). 12-point lead para sa Bulacan JT Taipan. With a minute and 17 remaining in this game, the undefeated Bulacan JT Taipan starting with 2 victories in their first 2 assignments and in prime possession to move to 3-0. Samantala for the Rizal Switch Fiber, it's a 12-point deficit that they're trying to address in their attempt to get their first win out of 3 games here in season number 2. Spilla still can't get that basket in the second half. Give them another opportunity. Lugo for 3. Kakalog. There you go. Lawrence Pillas. His first 2 here in the second half.
And those 2 connived in that first quarter. Lugo and Piñas in that play, even though Lugo missing on that 3-point shot, able to give the opportunity for Piñas to clean it up inside.
As Bulacan would like to talk it over, we have another Nature Spring timeout with 59.3 left in the game. .3 seconds remaining in this game. 16 under matchup of the Rizal Switch Fiber and Bulacan JT Taipan. 10-point lead para sa Bulacan after trailing by as much as 13 in the first half. It's been a high-scoring ball game, but that third quarter really gonna haunt itong Rizal, Coach Noy, where they only scored 13. The only quarter during that time that either team wasn't able to score on the 20s.
Also, you have to commend the defense of Bulacan holding Rizal to just 13, while on the other end, on the flip side, Rizal allowing Bulacan to score 27 points in that third quarter.
Bulacan just playing keep away, managing and milking as much clock as they could, protecting this 10-point advantage. Castro, blocked by Timbol. Ball goes back. But I guess job done in terms of bringing this clock down to 37.8.
And excellent time management for JT Bulacan Taipan. You could view it as a turnover being passive for JT Bulacan Taipan, but they were able to waste enough clock, and now with just less than 38 seconds, they're up by 10.
Another Nature Spring timeout, this time called by the Rizal Switch Fiber. Trailing by 10, 87-77. Bulacan JT Taipan 87, Rizal Switch Fiber 77. That was what's once a very tight ball game, I would say, Coach Noy. But Bulacan had a lot more composure, had a lot more answers. Parang na-flip talaga yung switch when it comes to the 16 under game versus that 14 under kanina. Parang literally, nagpalit lang ng jerseys yung parehong koponan. 2-0 to 2-0, 2-0 to 0-2.
And also, if you look at the Rizal switch fiber, most of their points coming from their starters. You have 4 of their 5 starters scoring in double digits. Lugo with 10, Piñas with 16, Sapo with 15, Arado with 15. But not much else after that. Only a combined 21 points coming from their bench against 44 for the side of Bulacan, and half of which coming from one Daniel Hernandez. Again, we're not sure if it's Daniel or Daniel, but for the purposes of this coverage, we christen him Daniel Hernandez, and looks like he will finish with 22 points and 8 assists.
Piñas still fighting, getting that basket plus the foul. Might be a case of a little bit too little, too late. Giving us another pound-for-pound fitness move, though. Brought to us by Pound for Pound, the official fitness partner of the Junior MPBL. Not to say Rizal didn't have those opportunities. They were making stops. They were making it very difficult para sa Bulacan to extend that lead. But time and time again, they either will miss on their own shots or even worse, turn the ball over carelessly.
And moving forward for Coach June Cuevas, he needs to find some firepower coming from the bench, as he already has a very productive starting 5, and it's when the second group comes in, and that's when Bulacan made their move, especially with Hernandez providing the heavy scoring load off the bench.
The buzzer sounds to officially end this contest. The final score would be 87-79 in favor of Bulacan JT Taipan. They would move to 3-0 sa win-loss column sa ating 16 under North Division, while Rizal will fall to 0-3. Still looking for that elusive first victory sa kanilang season number 2 campaign. Had a great start, led by 7 at the end of the first quarter. Gave up that lead to Bulacan, trailed by 2 at the end of the half. And Bulacan never looked back, built on that lead in the third quarter, and added a few more to hold on to this victory and their third straight of their Season 2 campaign. And one of the main reasons, kasama ni Renoa Sanchez, Daniel Hernandez with 22 points and 8 assists for our Don Benitos, best player of the game.
Beside me today is the best player of the game, Mr. Daniel Hernandez, producing 22 points, 1 rebounds, and 8 assists. Mr. Daniel Hernandez, alam mo, you're very consistent with your game. Last time na nagkita tayo, na-interview kita as the best player of the game. Ngayon, na-interview na naman kita. So, anong sikreto mo?
Ay, natutulog lang po ako ng maaga. Tapos pinagandaan ko lang din po. Tapos sinunod ko lang din po yung mga play namin para ma-attempt ko po sa tunay na laro. Yun lang po.
Ayan, at saka Daniel, meron ka bang gustong sabihin sa mga nanonood sa'yo ngayon? And for sure, marami nang sumusuporta sa'yo.
Una-una po, nagpapasalamat po ako sa itaas na nakarating po ulit ako dito. At laking tulong din po to ng opportunity na to para maabot ko po yung pangarap ko. Ayun lang po. Tapos pwede po ako bate. At binabati ko po dyan, family Ginoo. Tapos binabati ko rin po yung Pinagbarilang Boys po. Tapos unang-una po, nagpapasalamat po ako sa mga sumusuporta sa akin, sa mga magulang ko dyan, sa tatay ko, sa mama ko, sa mga kapatid ko, sa mga lola ko dyan. Ayun lang po. Tapos shoutout po sa liniligawan ko dyan, Angelica Angeles. Ayun lang po.
Once again, congratulations, Mr. Daniel Hernandez. And we would also like to thank Don Benitos for providing a sumptuous Filipino delicacy to our player of the game, Don Benitos, ang pangbansang kasaba. Back to you, Coach Noy and Jaime.
Thank you, Renoa, and congratulations, Daniel Hernandez. Maybe the next time we congratulate him, Coach Noy, is yung nililigawan niya.
Girlfriend na.
Girlfriend niya na. No? Ma-shoutout na niya as a girlfriend. The next time, he would be a best player of the game. And coming right up, it's still these two teams, the Rizal Switch Fiber going up against Bulacan JT Taipan for their last game of this virtual best of 3 in the 18 under division. That would be a wrap for the second of the 6-game slate ngayong Huwebes. Diyan lamang po kayo, magbabalik pa po ang inyong Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL Season number 2, ang liga ng bawat batang Pilipino.
Liga